Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories about strange and unusual things.
And the ripples they create.
AKA the story after the story.
I'm Rosa.
And I'm Angela.
And this is the Ripple Podcast.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
All right, that was an awesome intro.
Yep. At what point do we get famous enough to stop the intro? Where we just say the Ripple Podcast and everybody knows who we are.
Probably in like a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sure.
So speaking of getting followers and listens, about our bribery that we have going on.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yes. Did you want to talk about it? Do you want me to talk about it?
Well, we both have things that we're giving away.
Yes. Giveaway prizes.
And it's going to be a contest, and it's going to take place on Instagram. So you need to make sure that you're following us on Instagram at the Ripple Podcast.
The Ripple Pod.
Right?
Is that our Instagram? We should probably have talked about that before.
We are just Ripple
Oh, geez.
Pod.
We both got it wrong.
Ripple Pod.
Ripple Pod is our Instagram.
RIPPLEPOD.
And we'll have fun and prizes there soon. By the time this podcast is posted, you'll see our fun and prizes. Yeah?
I would think so. That would be fine. Mine will be ready.
Okay.
Are we telling what we're giving away, or do they have to go to the Instagram?
You can tell yours, but mine's not ready yet.
Okay.
So I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep.
Mine is a really cute hand poured candle with beeswax in the shape of a little owl that a friend of mine, he makes, and he donates a portion of the sales to a different nonprofit every month.
I love it.
So I'm supporting him, and while you support us, so we are just creating ripples right there.
Oh, look at that.
You know.
You came up with that really quick, just on the spot.
I'm good like that. And then yours is also a handcrafted item, but you don't want to give too much away?
By yours truly. I don't want to give too much away because if I screw it up and it doesn't turn out as planned, I'm going to have to improvise and come up with a plan B.
Okay.
So, but you'll see soon enough.
All right, cool.
So I think I can do it.
Check out just Ripple Pod on Instagram. And we post pictures from our episodes frequently. We post funny little memes or
all of the memes.
Yeah. So check us out, and maybe you'll win the prize. It'll be fun.
Maybe you'll be the lucky winner. So how was your week?
Well, my week had some highs and lows.
I heard about some of those lows.
Yeah, they were not the funnest of lows. We've mentioned before that you and I both have anxiety.
Who doesn't?
And there are times when mine is at a high, which causes me to be very low. And I had a very rough night a couple nights ago. To the point where I couldn't sleep.
It's the worst.
Having bad thoughts and bad feelings, and it was just horrible. And it's hard to get out of that, especially when it continues to the next morning. And
no fun at all.
No, it's really not. Luckily, I have a good support group and good medication, and I got out of it. But man, anxiety's the worst.
Yeah, it sucks. And especially at night when it's really hard to talk to anybody and you just are trying to go to sleep and trying to shut your mind off, and it's nearly impossible to do. And I feel, I don't know if you're the same way, but I feel like the longer I'm staying up, the worse it gets, because I know I have to function and live a normal life the following day. So it's like this snowball effect.
I have to keep a 6-year-old alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I was telling you, I'm like, normally I can, turn on a podcast or read a book or turn on the TV and just like shut it out, shut the thoughts out and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't even like push the buttons to turn the TV on. Like that's how bad it was. It was not good. It was not good.
So what do you like to do, or not like to do, but what do you try to do to
get out of it?
Yeah. Do you have any like go-tos?
Honestly, the best for me is sleep. If you can sleep. I can get to sleep, I think a lot of the time that is the problem. I just need more sleep. If I can't get to sleep like I couldn't the other night, I think it varies. Sometimes if I'm able, I'll go for a run at 2 in the morning. Probably not the best idea.
The greatest.
I am getting an exercise.
Get a treadmill.
Well, I'm getting,
Is that what you're getting to?
Yeah, I'm getting an exercise bike soon, so I can hopefully, muster up the energy to hop on that if I need to.
That's a good point. I do have an exercise bike that I have in my garage that luckily I haven't had this recently where I have that sort of anxiety feeling late at night, but I'm going to keep that in mind because like we said a couple episodes ago, anxiety typically brings out like a fight or flight response. And sometimes when you can just get moving, it helps.
Well, exercise has those natural endorphins. And when you're happy, you don't kill people, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Happy people just don't kill their husbands.
Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy.
Happy people just don't kill their husbands.
I know anxiety is kind of a tough subject for some people to talk about. I'm of the mindset where I feel like sometimes those tough things need to be talked about.
And normalized.
Yeah. I'm very open about my anxiety issues. I'm very open about my miscarriage problems. There are certain things that I feel that people need to discuss because it's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not a negative and anyone's fault. So I think that stuff needs to be talked about more frequently.
And knowing that you're not alone in that particular situation, it helps
make you feel not alone. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that was my low for sure. But it was, a good week. Otherwise, I celebrated my 19th wedding anniversary yesterday.
Holy shit. Was that yesterday?
19 years ago, you were in my wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Dang, that's such a long time ago.
No kidding. Really long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, we went to the pool and had pizza and called it a night.
That's what you guys did for your anniversary? Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, we went swimming.
Cool.
How about you? How was your week?
It was pretty normal for the most part. I didn't do anything all that exciting. I feel like I say this every week. I didn't really do anything all that exciting. I did decide to take on a challenge that it's going to be starting tomorrow. And I'm saying it here for accountability. And I was going to talk about this during our bonus episode, but we decided not to record our bonus episode yet again when we talk about our book club. But I'm doing 75 hard.
Explain what 75 hard is.
Okay, so 75 hard. It's 75 days of mental toughness.
Give examples.
So it includes you have to drink a gallon of water every single day.
Peeing a lot.
Lots of peeing. So much peeing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do 2 workouts, one indoors, one outdoors.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. Which I think I could do because I've been going to the gym. I've gotten back into it. And then my second workout of the day, which is the outside workout, I just consider
walking the dogs.
Yeah, getting my steps in.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a certain amount of steps that I want to get in every day. And just I feel like I could already do that. I just have to stay consistent. You have to do 10 pages, like read 10 pages of a self-improvement book of some kind. So whether that's entrepreneurship, business, just mental health, whatever sort of thing you want to pursue.
Do you have to actually read it or can you listen to it via like Audible?
I think that's up to you to decide. Mm-hmm. I'm doing online classes right now, so I'm considering that my
self-improvement
thing.
Cool.
You have to take a progress picture.
That would be the hardest for me.
That's the hard part.
And submit it or something?
No. It's just for your own self.
That I could do.
And then the last thing is decide on some sort of healthy eating regimen and stick to it. So whatever you decide, like
I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm going to go to fast food.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to count macros, or I'm going to focus on eating not processed things.
Or trying a new preparing a vegetable a new way or something.
Yes.
Cool. I like that.
So this is my attempt. I'm putting it out there so I can stay accountable. So we'll do check-ins and hopefully I can get through it.
So in 75 days,
mm-hmm.
what is the date? Like, does it have a
Don't know.
significance?
I need to look it up.
Of why?
No, because you start whenever you want to start.
Oh.
This is all completely independent.
Oh, I was thinking it was with a group.
No.
Oh, cool.
You start it whenever you want to start it. If you screw up, you're supposed to start again from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Pushing myself, trying new things, trying to improve, giving myself something to focus on other than all the craziness going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it.
Tell me a story.
Okay. Well, we're talking about psychics. The topic that I pulled last week, psychics. And I went down so many rabbit holes and read about so many different things that I'm not even going to talk about it because it's just like way, way too much that they each need their own episode because, dang, it got crazy. But
I love it. I love it also. I'm super jealous that you pulled that one.
well, you can do it again.
I know.
Because
We'll throw them back.
it's just, there's so many different avenues you could go down. But do you believe in psychics?
I believe that there are some people that have psychic capabilities. I do not believe in every person that says that they're psychic. No. But I do believe that
you do believe that some people do have that ability.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, interesting. And we learned earlier before we started recording and we were just drinking that you are not a psychic. And
No.
I am not a psychic.
I just think that you did the test wrong. I think that I didn't understand the rules. And
Okay, just so people who are listening who don't know what we did earlier, I downloaded this app on your phone that anybody can get for free that is a psychic test app. And you can test your psychic abilities. And it's a really, really simple test. And what were
you
there?
need two people to do
You
it.
don't actually, you can do it by yourself.
You cannot. I know what button I push.
No, I know, but they have an option where it pulls the cards for you.
Oh, so you have to have a psychic reading with the phone?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Well, are you psychic or not?
Yes.
No, you're not, because you got 3 out of 10 correct. But it's like what you said last week. It's like the Ghostbusters test where you have 5 different symbols on cards and one person pulls a card. They pick one and they visualize that card and concentrate on that card and they try to send it to the other person. And
I'm sending you a circle. I'm sending you a star.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then you pass the phone to the other person and without looking at what you picked, they're supposed to pick what you were
They
thinking
picked the
of.
same one, supposed to.
You got 30% right.
I got 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
You got 2?
I got 5.
2?
I got 5.
Yeah, because you figured out the pattern.
Right. And isn't that what all psychic abilities are about? Is
No.
figuring out patterns?
They're supposed to get the feeling in their brain.
The vibrations?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it turns out, which I did not know, there is actually a ton of different types of psychics. So did you know that there's astral and mental projection psychics?
Astral?
Mhm.
I don't even know what that word means.
Neither do I.
Is that like to do with the stars?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, keep going.
So it allows this particular type of psychic to enter dreams, have out of body experiences, and like you can go and invade people's dreams and stuff and
That's
like go chill with
rad.
them, right? There's automatic writing. And that's, you've seen these before.
Writing as in W writing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not writing like vroom, vroom.
No,
motorcycle writing.
Writing.
Got it.
So you have like a pencil and you're just like holding it loosely and you're drawing little circles and stuff. And you eventually come out with a word or a symbol or something.
I've seen
You've
that.
seen that on like
Mhm.
CSI and stuff.
Yeah.
There's dowsing, which is the ability to locate water through dowsing rods. And those are the people that walk around with the sticks. And when the sticks point down, that's where the water is.
Yeah, those are called something.
They're called dowsing.
No, but they're called something else.
They're called dowsing rods.
Okay. All right, keep going.
There's energy medicine or psychic surgeries, which are the people who have the ability to heal with their own mental energy.
Oh, that's super huge right now. That's like a big thing.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a precognition, which is predicting the future.
Got that one.
Remote viewing, which is super freaking cool. The ability to see to a distant or unseen target. So this is what the CIA utilized psychics for during the Cold War to spy on people.
So they're sitting in a room and then they can see a certain location.
Mhm.
I couldn't do that one. I can't see my own self.
Exactly.
No,
You need to have that
I don't
imagery.
have that psychic ability.
And then there's mediums, the people who can communicate with the other side,
Yes.
like the Long Island medium,
And Sylvia Brown.
Lynn Sylvia Brown.
Yeah, I know them.
We'll be talking about one of those two today.
Yay!
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as I enjoyed watching a lot of the Long Island medium, I thought she was really, really fun. We are not talking about her today, but honestly, we could do a whole episode on her stuff. So we'll keep that in mind for a future topic. So as you talked about last week, you wanted to be a psychic.
Totally.
Or no, you said you were a psychic.
I am.
And you're absolutely right, because we're all born psychics.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I knew you were going to say that.
You know. So as children, oh, by the way, let me give you my sources, because this is like a direct quote from one of them. So, of course, I used Wikipedia, which is like majority of my story tonight.
.com.
No. Imagine Spirits, and the topic or the article name was Unleash Mediumship. CNN, Psychology Today, and rosemarykerr.blogspot.
Hey, that's like us.
Kind of.
My name and your name, kind of.
Kind of. Except my name's not Marie.
Well,
That's my middle name.
yeah.
Okay. So it turns out we're all born psychics, and as children, we're far more in touch with the spirit world. So, for example, a lot of kids have this sense of seeing things that aren't really there, and they're like talking to things that seem like imaginary friends, and just like embracing this intuition that they're naturally born with, that as adults you lose because you kind of adapt to the culture and it's just really not accepted anymore. So that's
like exactly what we talked about during the ghost episode.
Yes, totally. And a lot of psychics utilize spirits to connect with the afterlife.
Totally.
So it's pretty much all the same. I mean, these all ripple into each other.
Blip.
Yep. As adults, when this spontaneous and unconstrained part of ourselves often gets lost, so you can actually reconnect to that inherent part of ourselves. And all you have to do in these 3 easy steps to become a medium.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? It's just a few easy steps. So if you're serious about opening this to the spirits and you wish to enhance your current mediumship skills, these are the daily steps you need to take every single day for 2 weeks, according to the Imagine Spirits website.
Just 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Not even
2 weeks.
75
it's like a
days.
quarantine activity. I mean, it takes longer to make sourdough bread. You're lonely in
kombucha.
quarantine.
Let's do psychic ability tests.
Get you some ghost friends to hang out with.
Okay.
Okay.
Step 1. I'm going to do this for 2
Okay.
weeks. I'll report
Yeah,
back.
report back. I'll do my 75 hard. You do your talk to ghost
14
test.
days.
Okay. So once or twice a day, you need to consciously form the thought of, I am one with spirit, and spirit is one with me.
Okay.
I am open to the gifts of spirit in all ways.
I just have to say that, believe that.
Got it? You can say it out loud. You can say it in your head, however you want to do.
Okay.
Most importantly, you have to realize that the spirits that wish to come by you, they're already nearby, and they're just like waiting for you to communicate. So just open yourself up.
Okay.
And you need to meditate daily.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going
That's
to be
tough for
hard for
me.
you. Don't forget that you need, when you meditate, and you tell me how to do this because I sure don't know, erect an impenetrable shield of white light around you. And this allows only spirits of the light to come in. You don't want any demons. Also, take some time in your meditation to alert the spirits that you want them to visit, and then you're open to them. Additionally, you need to let them know that they're a welcome guest and you are open to their energy.
Is this a actual white light, or is it something that I'm supposed to visualize that I'm surrounded by?
Don't know. You know, it's open to spiritual interpretation.
All
Let's
right.
leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay, so specifically concentrate. Notice the physical senses and notice which ones seem to be more activated. For example, do you see more clearly in your mind's eye when you're meditating?
I don't know if I can do this game.
Okay, well, if
I don't have a mind's eye. That's the problem.
that is going to be a problem. Maybe spirits can talk to you.
Okay.
Maybe you can smell them. You can utilize your other senses.
Okay.
And then once you're done with your meditation and you're opening and welcoming these spirits and looking for their signs that they're sending you, you need to close the session. And it's very vital that you close this session. When you're finished, you need to let the spirits standing around that you're done for the day. You gently release your concentration, clear and reset your energy field, become grounded again, and journal your experiences.
I mean, this sounds super relaxing and therapeutic.
Just talk to ghosts. Talk to the spirits around you. 2 weeks, you're a medium.
Okay. Can I get a 1-900 number?
It doesn't say you can't.
Okay.
So there you have it. Everybody's a medium. We're all psychic. Okay. Now, let me tell you about a few psychic journeys. And I have 3 stories here. They all kind of like flow into one another, whatever. They're all their own ripples. That's what we're going with today.
Okay.
Okay, so first I'm going to tell you about a psychic that I found out about called Rosemary Kerr.
I don't know her.
You don't. You should. So, I'm sorry. Did I say Rosemary? Rosemary.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is the website.
Yes, this is the website. So, Rosemary Kerr. So, when Rosemary Kerr was only 4 years old, she had a dream, and in this dream, her uncle was going to burn down his house with her aunt and her cousins inside.
Oh, geez, what a scary dream for a little girl.
4 years old. Fun times. When she woke up terrified, her parents and her aunt assured her that it was just a nightmare. 2 weeks later,
no.
her uncle locked her aunt and cousin in the bathroom and soaked the house in kerosene before setting it ablaze.
Oh, that's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Her aunt and cousin, luckily, they managed to escape out of a bathroom window, and they didn't die. But her uncle went to prison for life.
You may not have this information, but I wonder if the parents shared the little girl's dream with the aunt and hey.
Yeah, she did, because the aunt also assured her that it wasn't a nightmare.
Oh.
It wasn't just the parents.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's when she first learned that she had some sort of psychic abilities.
Okay.
So she kind of just put it aside, didn't really think that much of it, just that it was kind of weird, until later on in life when she was a counselor at a non-denominational church, and she learned that she could use this gift for good. So in 1987, a frantic woman named Elsie McGinley visited her to help find her missing brother.
Okay.
And her brother was 27-year-old Andre Daigle. And he was last seen over 2,000 miles away. But she didn't know what to do. She was worried for him. She needed some sort of guidance, some sort of help. So in desperation, she went and talked to Rosemary. So Elsie provided Rosemary with a picture of her brother, and she began to trace her fingers across the image, and she was feeling for vibrations. She closed her eyes and she pictured Andre, and she saw him in his truck sitting beside a man with long blonde hair. She said she saw water and a long bridge with railroad tracks beside it, and she felt a terrible pain in her head, and she heard a voice saying, "My head is killing me." And then she pulled out a map, and she closed her eyes again, and she moved her fingers across the map until she felt a tingling and stopped. Where her finger stopped was Slidell, Louisiana. She told Elsie that she should get somebody there as quickly as possible. So later on, she testified in court. And she said at the time of this reading, she actually knew that Andre was dead, but she couldn't tell his sister that. She said it would just be too sad and she couldn't prepare her for this death. So this is what actually happened. The sister called the police, and they went out to Slidell, the place that she found on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And when they arrived, they found Michael Phelps and Charles Grievous in Andre's stolen truck.
Michael Phelps, not the swimmer, the Olympian.
Right. A different one.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, they pled guilty to first-degree murder of the missing brother.
Did they, hit him in the head?
They sure did.
Whoa.
So at the time of his arrest, Grievous told authorities that he and Phelps killed Daigle as a test of nerves, of all things.
Wait,
and
what-
they also needed to kill him for a vehicle and money.
What's a test of nerves?
Like,
to see if
are
they
you
could do
brave
it?
enough? Can you do it?
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's really disgusting. So Rosemary went on to help other people communicate with lost loved ones and consults with the police on other missing persons cases and murder cases. She also starred in a short-lived TV show called Psychic Witness. But as far as I can tell, that was like the only really major case that she was involved in.
And that she sounded like she nailed.
She sure did.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
So is she still actively psychicking?
Psychicking? I believe so. I mean, she still has her blog spot up and available. So if you want to go get a reading from her, she might do it for the right price. You never know.
That's what we should do. We should get readings.
I think we should. I think that should be our ripple. I think we should get psychic readings and decide for ourselves
If these people are
if these
legit.
people are legit.
Okay.
Because from the very beginning, when I first pulled this topic, you immediately mentioned who?
Sylvia Brown. I used to watch her
Sylvia
show all the time.
Brown.
I loved that show.
Did you know she died?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know until I started researching.
She sent me a message. Psychically.
Telepathically?
Mhm.
What did she say?
She's
I'm
dead.
dying?
She's dead.
Oh,
She's on
okay.
the other side.
Well, she died in 2013 at the age of 77. I did not know that. So I feel kind of bad. But we're going to get into it.
Okay.
So she's most known for being a regular guest on the Montel Williams show.
And then she got her own show.
I didn't know she had her own show. I didn't see that.
Angela.
I know. You should have pulled psychics instead of me. I didn't know she had her own show. I didn't see that anywhere in my research.
But,
I,
Montel's like the one that got her started.
oh, yeah.
Kind of
Absolutely.
like with, what's that bald guy that has a TV show?
Montel Williams.
No. No.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah. Like how he got his start from Oprah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Wait, did he? I thought the other Dr. Oz got his start from Oprah.
Oh, one of those doctors. Yeah.
Are either of them real doctors?
Maybe like doctors of
Other things?
candy
than
corn.
medicine?
I don't know.
I'd love to be a doctor of candy corn.
Me too.
God, I love candy corn.
Seriously, it's so great.
Okay, yeah, Montel Williams, man, that's just memories of staying homesick from school and watching
Sick.
daytime TV
Sick.
and seeing what mysteries Sylvia Brown is going to solve.
Yes.
Okay, so she knew that she had a gift from God at the age of 3. And she actually came from a long line of psychics. So she actually believes it's a genetic thing. Her line of psychics goes back 300 years. So she's not of the school of thought that everybody is born psychic. No.
Oh, it's a gift.
It is a gift. She is special. You are not. But on the Montel Williams show, as you know, she would help audience members find closure over the loss of their loved ones. And she would connect people with their spirit guides, and she would give them a reading, any sort of wide range. She would talk about love lives, and she would just feel these vibrations and frequencies. And that would give her insight into these people's lives. So she was like massively successful. I feel like everybody knows who Sylvia Brown is. I even had a 4-year waiting list for telephone sessions.
Wow.
And guess how much it would cost for a 20-minute call with Sylvia Brown?
What year is this?
This is probably like in the early 2000s.
For 4 minutes, you
No,
said?
no, 20 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
4-year waiting list, 20-minute call,
$200.
$750.
Oh my gosh.
She wrote 45 books. All of these talking about different connections that she has with the spiritual world. And she even hosted a cruise. And each passenger
Wow.
would get a psychic reading from her, which costs upward of $1,000.
And I'm totally wrong. She didn't have her own. I just was looking it up. I looked at IMDb and I don't see her TV show.
You were probably just watching Montel.
But
because
she was on Montel that often.
she was a regular, and when she was on, the whole show was her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even after her death, some of her followers believe that she even predicted this COVID-19 pandemic that we're in right now.
I read about that.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So she wrote this book back in 2008 entitled End of Days. In which she stated a severe pneumonia-like illness would spread around the world in 2020. And loyal fan Kim Kardashian, good old Kim K, she tweeted about this, which kind of brought it back into the spotlight again.
She also tweeted about Momo, so...
Well, there is that. So, yeah, I mean, that just shows how psychic she really is, right? So, let's go back to the good old days of Montel Williams.
Yes, let's.
Where we know and love her best. And you
her
might...
super long white fingernails.
Oh, yeah. Did she make you never want to smoke cigarettes?
Oh, yeah. She was like the poster child for not smoking.
Man, that's like probably one of my biggest takeaway is like never smoke cigarettes and don't wear blue eyeshadow.
And the nails.
I vaguely remember the nails.
I'll pull up an image for you.
Oh, thanks. Okay. So you might recall that when she did her readings, she was very confident.
Oh,
and she was super direct. She was super to the point. Like it wasn't even, she didn't do the sort of thing that you see a lot of psychics do where they're like, oh, I'm seeing.
The letter K.
I'm feeling. She was just like, no, he's cheating on you. Yeah. It was just straight to the point. Well, there was another quote from her that was like super direct where this woman she stood up and she's at the microphone and she's like, do you see love in my future? And she's like, no.
That's
It's something, I mean, I'm misquoting her, but it was something along those lines. They're like, nope, not gonna happen.
Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, she was very direct with her visions, and it came very quick, and it invoked a lot of emotional response from the crowd. However, Sylvia came under fire back in 2013 from a prediction that she made back in 2004 when Montel Williams had Luana Miller on the show. Do you remember this?
I need more.
Okay, so Luana's teenage daughter went missing one day without a trace. She was looking for help. She was just like at a loss. She had no direction to go. It was just completely bizarre. She had nothing to go off of. Her daughter just vanished, and she wanted any help that she could get. So this is what Sylvia said to her, and this is a quote. See, I hate it when they're on water. Your daughter, she's not the kind who wouldn't call. And when Luana asked if she would ever see her daughter again, Sylvia responded, yes, in heaven, on the other side. She's not alive, honey. And she also told her that her last words were, goodbye, Mom, I love you.
Oh.
You don't remember that happening?
No.
It was pretty awful. So after receiving this news, she was clearly devastated. And a little more than a year later, she actually died of heart failure.
Oh, sad.
Meanwhile,
no.
Her daughter, Amanda Berry, she wasn't found in water, but she was actually in the home of her former bus driver, Ariel Castro. And that was the same home where she and two other women were locked away for more than 10 years. What? Amanda was watching Sylvia tell her mother that she was dead on national television.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And as just fucked up as that is, you can't really argue that like psychics are 100% all the time.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's just not possible. But people continued to support and love Sylvia. She was just, she could, like, you even know her to today. Like, from all of your memories, she had a huge following. She was still making a ton of money. And when she was confronted about this, she said just that. I can't be correct 100% of the time. Even the best psychics have bad days. And her statement said, I have been a lot more right than I've ever been wrong. If ever there was a time to be grateful and relieved for being mistaken, this is the time. Only God is right all the time. My heart goes out to Amanda Berry, her family, and the other victims' families. I wish you a peaceful recovery. So, like, you know, trying to save a little face there. Like,
and yeah, and saying like, hey, I was wrong. She wasn't saying, oh, I must have been getting the reading from the person behind you or whatever.
Right.
Did her mom live long enough to see her daughter?
Nope.
Oh.
No. So Amanda Berry, I'm sure if you looked into it a little bit more, you'd remember. She was trapped in this house. She was held captive with these two other girls. She actually had a kid with her abuser.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one who was like, she broke down the front door of the house one day when he was gone, and she was reaching her arm out and yelling. And this guy stopped because he saw her, and he did an interview later on the news. And he was like, I was something along the lines of like, I was just walking home, went to McDonald's. I saw this lady like yelling and screaming. He had like a really funny interview.
No, I do not remember this.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to look it up.
We could do a story on that.
We could. It's a really good one. I actually read her book.
Mm.
So there's a lot of info there.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we obviously, like we said, can't be 100%. But Sylvia, she claimed to be like about 85% correct, which is pretty damn good, right?
Way better than I did.
You got 30%. I got 50%. But according to the Skeptical Inquirer, she was far from 85% correct.
Oh.
So the thing is, when you're watching the Montel Williams show and you see these people stand up and they're telling their really sob stories, and she's either giving them hope or she's breaking the news to them, you get super emotional and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's so sad. Wow, she can see into the future. She can predict what happens. She can see the past. She can talk to these dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about a few other mistakes that Sylvia made. Back in 1999, Sylvia said that 6-year-old Opal Jo Jennings, who had disappeared a month earlier, had been forced into slavery in Japan.
Whoa.
Random. Later that year, a local man was convicted of kidnapping and murdering Jennings. In 2003, an autopsy of Jennings' remains found that she had died within hours of her abduction. And this was on the show. All these things happened on the show.
Uh-huh.
Were you about to say something?
No, I just keep going.
Okay. So in 2002, Sylvia claimed that Holly Crewson, who had disappeared in 1995, was working as an exotic dancer in Hollywood. In 2006, dental records were used to positively identify a body found in 1996 in San Diego as Crewson's. And it goes on. In 2002, she claimed that Linda McCland, who disappeared in 2000, had been taken by a man with the initials MJ and was alive in Orlando, Florida, would be found soon. In 2003, McClain's son-in-law, David Rapaski, who had been present at Sylvia's reading, was convicted of murdering her. And her remains were found in her home in Pennsylvania. You want more?
Wow, that's bonkers.
2004, she said that Ryan Catcher, a 19-year-old who had disappeared in 2000, had been murdered, and his body could be found in a metal shaft. But in 2006, his body was found in his truck at the bottom of a pond where he had accidentally drowned.
It's weird that all of these are like missing person ones. I don't remember that being her specialty. And maybe, back in the early 90s, I was,
Well, the stakes are a lot higher when you're talking about life or death, which seems like, I don't know. It's just really bizarre to take on things like that are that serious, Like you can talk about love and career goals and, should I go back to school? Should I not go back to school? Things like that. But when it's something as serious as, hey, is my missing son or daughter alive? Yeah. So it just goes on and on and on. And there's all of these cases that they found to be incorrect. And of all of the cases that there's Rosa's alarm. I thought your phone was off.
I turned it back on.
Why?
I wanted to find the Sylvia Brown information.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so of all of the cases that she discussed on the show, the ones that had been solved by the police, she was completely wrong about. Not a single one was she correct.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's
kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And that's what takes me to our next story, our third ripple of the night. That's what brings me to James Randi. James Randi began his career as a magician under the stage name The Amazing Randi.
Well, that's creative.
I love it. He performed numerous escape acts.
Wait, what? Was there an episode of My Name is Earl where there was an amazing Randy on it?
I bet there was. Oh, I love that show.
I did too. It was so good. All right.
I need
that
to
brings
go back.
me joy.
It was on Netflix for a while, and I think it went away.
Yeah, it's not. There's not. All like the fun sitcoms aren't on Netflix anymore.
You just need to get into reality TV like I did.
No, I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you want to know an instant anxiety cure right now? Go on Amazon Prime and watch My 5 Wives because it is a beautiful disaster.
Oh,
It's so great. It's just mindless entertainment.
that gives me anxiety.
No, you need it in your life.
My 5 Wives.
Yes,
Okay.
it's so good.
I might have to check it out.
Oh, love it.
Tell me about the Amazing Randy.
Okay, so the Amazing Randy. He performed numerous escaped acts like escaping jail cells and safes around the world. And on February 7th, 1956, he appeared on NBC's Today Show where he remained in a sealed metal coffin for 104 minutes that was submerged in a hotel swimming pool.
Ew.
That is kind of gross. Hey, but you were just in a swimming pool with a bunch of children today,
was.
so
And
I don't
only-
know what's worth of
Only
Vegas.
one of them got out to go to the bathroom the entire time we were there.
Oh, lovely. Well, I mean, if I were in a coffin sealed in a pool like that, I would break out for sure too. Or maybe I would just stay in there. Is it watertight?
It's a lot safer.
So he broke out, and he actually, that was one of Harry Houdini's tricks. Famous tricks. Harry Houdini did it in 93 minutes. He did it in 104, but he's like, you know what? I was younger than Harry Houdini back then, so you got to cut me a break.
All right.
He was a very successful magician, obviously. He had to be intelligent enough to develop these tricks that would fool and entertain his audience.
Fool. I caught that word.
Yeah, he was very open with all of these things being tricks. They were mentalist tricks. It was all like sleight of hand. He appreciated the art of being able to fool people and embraced that.
Have you, speaking of magicians and Netflix, have you watched Magic for Humans?
No, I haven't, but I
So
heard
good.
it's really good. Adam would probably love that.
Blows my brains. It's crazy good.
I need to check it out because he watches on, not Netflix, on YouTube all the time, the Penn and Teller Fool Us thing. Have you watched that?
I mean, I know Penn and Teller, but
yeah. So he watches their stuff all the time. It's pretty entertaining.
no, Magic for Humans. It's
Okay.
good.
I'll have
It's
to
fun.
look into that. I've heard lots of
Don't
good things.
understand it. And I keep, like, I'll go, Nick, how did he do that? And Nick's like, I don't know, but I have to know. I have to ask.
But obviously, it takes a really smart person to be able to create and do these tricks, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So the Amazing Randy began to take notice of other people using these same kinds of tricks to make people believe that they had supernatural abilities, you know, like talking to the dead, healing physical ailments, or telling people that they would find love and success.
Sounds like a psychic.
At a cost.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't about that. So Randy, noticing that all of these so-called psychics were taking advantage of people and seeking closure. Like there's one thing that I kept hearing again and again from Sylvia Brown, from these other psychics, is that happy people don't seek out psychics. Usually the people who are looking for psychics are dealing with some shit. Like somebody's died in their life, they're missing somebody, they're going through a hard time, and that's why they're seeking out these people.
Totally. Absolutely.
He didn't like that. He decided that he would use his own knowledge of trickery to expose them. That's
cool. That's cool. Yeah.
That's when he developed his program called Exploring Psychic Powers. And it actually turned into a TV show where he offered cash prizes for anyone who'd prove that they truly had psychic abilities. And he exposed all kinds of fraudulent psychics, astrologers, dowsers, you know, those people with the sticks that find the water, psychometric psychics, and crystal healers.
Ooh.
So basically what he did is he came up with an agreed upon challenge with this psychic that would prove, and they would both decide on it, and it would be able to prove their abilities. And every single time the psychic failed.
What was his show called?
It was called Exposing Psychic Powers.
I kind of want to watch this.
I think it was back a long time ago. But this
Probably on
whole
YouTube or
challenge,
something.
I'll tell you later, like it goes on further. So the most notable exposure
Naked.
exposed person, I should say,
Naked.
was a man called Peter Popoff. Have you ever heard of him?
No, but that's a funny name.
Isn't that fun? So Peter Popoff claimed to have divine God-given abilities that allowed him to perform healing ceremonies. Remember when we talked about those psychic surgeries?
Yeah.
And he would perform these healing ceremonies for a paying audience. And Popoff would wow his crowd by having this information that was specific to their needs or their desires, and he would know something about them. However, it didn't take Randy very long to realize that the information that he was reading was being read off of prayer cards that these people left at the church.
Wait,
So-
what people?
The audience.
What?
Mm-hmm. So have you ever been to a church where it's like you write down like, oh, please
Prayer
pray.
request. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So his wife was collecting them before the show began. And I guess they had people like watching who was dropping off each one and identifying who that was.
No way.
And then he had an earpiece that was hidden during the ceremonies. And she would read to him like, oh, the woman in the back wearing the blue blouse, call on her. She has fill in the blank. She has breast cancer.
Oh, that is horrible.
Absolutely terrible. So in order to prove that all of this was a hoax, he hired a crime scene analyst who used a computerized radio scanner to record, like tap into the transmissions that were going to the earpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy also planted a few accomplices into Popoff's audience, including a man dressed as a woman who wrote on his prayer card that he wanted to be cured of uterine cancer.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yep.
pretty funny.
So after he collected enough evidence, he exposed Popoff on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. And this went on, so this whole skeptical, what were they called again? And I forgot their name, but all these skeptics, they went on to create the $1 million paranormal challenge, all because of the amazing Randy. And this $1 million paranormal challenge was offered to pay out to anyone who could demonstrate that they truly had supernatural or paranormal abilities. And again, it was an agreed upon scientific experiment.
Wow.
And this version of the challenge, it was like when he first started it, back when it was, in its very, very early stages, back in 1964, and he just started exposing these people, and he exposed over 1,000 people. Nobody was ever successful. The challenge was terminated back in 2015 when Randy just retired from the business. And the two people that he really, really wanted to get on and continuously challenged were John Edwards.
Oh, I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own show. I watched that too.
He had his own show.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sylvia Brown. And Sylvia Brown, she publicly agreed to go on it again and again, but privately she always refused. And he kept trying to kind of, I don't know, antagonize her, egg her on a little bit by posting on his website that he sent her a certified letter with all of the criteria, ensuring that the money was truly going to be there. And he had a countdown on his website of the days that went by when she first said she would agree to it, and then she just never did. And as far as John Edwards goes, he just kind of wrote it off. He was like, well, who do I have to prove to a guy whose first name is Amazing? It's that's not his real first name. That's his stage name,
Come on,
dude.
John.
Come on.
You should know that.
Right.
I totally watched. Maybe that's what I was mixing up with Sylvia Brown.
Yeah.
Because I watched his show.
And he's the one who would do all the cold readings. And it was, seemed super, super obvious. He would just go to the crowd and he was saying, "Oh, I see a J name.
Somewhere
a
in
male,
this area.
a male with a J name, maybe a Jim, a John, a Josh, oh, maybe the J is a middle name, a nickname with the J."
Oh, that's me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he would just keep going until somebody would pick up on it.
Yeah.
And then he just continuously, like, obviously the people who are responding really want an answer and
Yeah.
really want to be there. So they're going to be more agreeable than I think anybody else would. So
Have you ever had a reading or tarot reading or anything?
I haven't. And see, tarot's its like own thing. That's a whole different subject that we should go down. But
I had a tarot reading.
did you really? Where did you go?
Every year until they moved recently, I'd go to a really fancy Halloween party.
Ooh.
From my friend Amy, her family threw it.
Oh,
Yeah, you know,
I've
and
heard about these parties.
I mean, they're amazing. Super fancy, catered. Everyone is dressed like you wouldn't believe. And she hired a tarot reader, someone that actually Amy had a relationship with, like did readings frequently for Amy. And she lived somewhere else. I can't remember where the psychic lived, but she flew out and stayed with Amy's family for the Halloween party. So she was out in California for a few days and did readings for any guest that wanted one.
So what did they tell you?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Oh, good.
At the time, I was like, oh, yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah.
But it's probably something super generic.
And I think that's why it was so generic, because nothing of it
Because otherwise
sticks
it would
out to me.
Yeah, it would have stuck with you if it was something very specific to you.
Yeah. I also had a mental healer, and I cannot for the life of me remember what those people are called, but where they put their hands up and this lady was quiet and she blinked really hard at me, and
Just put her hand towards you like she's sending energy towards you or something.
I was at work.
How did you not just start laughing? Because I don't think I could have held it together.
I was just counting the seconds until it was over.
Did you pay this person?
Oh no! I had a headache at work when I was working at the nursery.
Oh, she just volunteered these powers to you.
She said, yeah. She said, do you mind if I use my powers to try to make you, to heal you?
Did you laugh and walk away?
Well, no, because I'm polite, too polite. It's my problem sometimes. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what she was going to do, but she started blinking, and putting her hands towards me and blinking. And I feel like it went on forever.
Really? Why didn't you say, oh, you know what? I feel great now. And
well, as soon as another customer came in, I said, oh, I think I'm feeling better. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I cannot remember what she called herself, but there was a
Mental
name.
healer, something like that.
Yeah.
That is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I first started getting into the subject, I was really excited to believe in psychics. And then...
You're not a believer?
It's hard to say, because I do feel like there's people who have stronger intuitions than others and maybe just more empathy. And I feel like, especially with the loss of somebody who is close to you, if there's somebody out there who can, whether it's true or not, but maybe if they believe that they're talking to the other side and they can bring you some sort of closure or comfort, then I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the police have used psychics.
They still do.
The CIA has used psychics.
Yeah.
That's a...
Can I tell you about a psychic that I found?
Oh, yeah. What are we calling this now? Did we decide on a different name for it since it's not really an along the way anymore?
A last thought and a shot?
Yes. Oh, we didn't talk about our drink. Let's do that really
quick.
Oh,
yeah. So we record in our brother's office. We've mentioned that before. And you guys are going to learn more about Eric in upcoming episodes, but just not yet. But he was so rad. After work, he went to the store and picked up ingredients because he knew we were going to come over and record. And he made us a special drink just for tonight.
called the Cleo.
Lady Cleo?
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo, who we've gone through almost an hour of this psychic episode, and we haven't even mentioned Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. Another fraud. Miss Cleo. Yeah. Do you have the ingredients? You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So this Miss Cleo that he made for us is an ounce of rum and half an ounce of whiskey, half an ounce of vodka, half an ounce of grenadine, and half an ounce of fresh lemon juice, which I think he used Sprite instead, I'm guessing, because that's what it tastes like. But it's a pretty pink drink, and it is deceivingly sweet and will knock you on your ass.
Because mine is gone.
Well, I was talking.
Yeah, but it's yummy. Okay, so here's my last thought in a shot story. So pound your drink, because that's your shot.
Okay.
And here's the last thought. So we were talking about how, well, you were talking about how so many psychics are frauds and you can't prove, anything, and their percentages of getting predictions correct are very low.
Slim to none.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a psychic that has a very, very high. I'm surprised you didn't mention this psychic.
Who?
His name is Oscar.
I don't know who this is.
He's a cat.
Oh.
And he is a cat that predicts not the weather, not who's going to win the Super Bowl.
I think I know this.
But he predicts when you're going to die.
Yep.
And he resides in a nursing home. And he's over, 5 years. He correctly predicted over 50 deaths. And what it is Oscar, he'll curl up with the patient.
Mm-hmm.
And the staff, if they see Oscar curled up with a patient, they actually call the family of that patient and say, you need to come and say your goodbyes. That's how sure Oscar's death predictions are.
This is a thing, right?
Yes.
You've heard about this before, right?
Yeah.
This was on an episode of House, and they talked about why this happens.
Well, no, he really wants to get into the people's door, even if the door's closed.
No.
Yes, he does. He'll scratch at the door if he can't get in. And it says, in one case, nurses put him on a patient's bed, but he promptly left to go sit with another resident. And Oscar's pick passed away that evening.
But that's because their temperatures go up. And cats like to lay on warm things.
No, Oscar's a psychic, and he can predict who is going to die.
Scratching to get into their room to smother them.
So that was my lighthearted story.
Lighthearted death cat.
Lighthearted death cat.
Oh, man. I feel like if that happened to me, that would just kill me.
Ha, 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 ha.
What?
Oh, wait, kill you because you're allergic?
Yes.
I didn't get your joke.
It wasn't even really a joke. It was a true fact.
Because you're allergic to cats.
I'm really allergic to cats, and it would not set well for me.
Yeah, that's why you would die the next morning.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, I was telling you guys, I can't breathe. I need an EpiPen. Get this damn cat away from me.
Okay, I'm going to pick my theme for next week.
Pick your topic. And I'll have to come up with a cocktail. Or maybe Eric will again.
Yeah, he might be our resident bartender. Oh, okay. Mine is crimes in the military.
Oh, shit. That's going to be dark.
I was going to say, that's not going to be one of our
happy fun time
lighthearted ones.
That's not. That's going to be a dark one.
Well, I think we're due. I think we're due for a little
yeah, we've had a lot of
fun and games lately. Crimes in the military. Yikes. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And be sure to check out our Instagram, RipplePod.
Yeah, is that all? I feel like this is an abrupt ending.
Oh, thanks.
Are we missing something? No? Oh.
That's the end.
That's all.
No. All right. Until next week, everyone.
That's it. All right.
Don't forget to be a fountain
and not a drain.
Bye.
Bye.